like I'm sure you've heard the whole clout chasey type thing. Like you used his passing, but also like your reaction. I think people questioned whenever you found out because you were live streaming.
When I started busting out crying at the pool.
Yeah, I think some people don't think that that's. But again, I'm just saying. Like I think, and then I also think like because it's taken you so long.
This is how I process. This very, very valid point. This is how I process to me, and I still don't see nothing bad about it. But everyone seems to say that that's bad. Check this out. I'll do it to myself. Let's do this together.
From you fuck y'all pieces of shit for even fucking condoning this dumbass fucking shit. I never wanted bad for that, man. I'm not even gonna argue with y'all. Y'all can say whatever you want. I'm on here because I need to express how I fucking feel, and I don't know how else to do it, so I came on here to share it with y'all. Y'all can sit here and clown me all the fuck you want. I'm a real ass human, dog.
So I made myself completely vulnerable, Shelby. I hope you can hear me, or the audience. I made myself completely vulnerable and just busted out crying because the only place that I found myself whole at, the only avenue that I had, the only place that I had people to talk to at was my Instagram.
Yeah.
I went live because I didn't have, one, any solid friends. The only friend that I had passed away the day before I fly out to go see him. I had just got booked my flight, Shelby, by his assistant, Marie Huntley.
Uh-huh.
You listen to what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me decline this one. I had just got a flight, dog. I'm supposed to be with him. I just talked to him. And you know who calls me to tell me that he passed? Zena. My ex-girlfriend.
How did she know?
She read it on TMZ, and I was back there at that pool in Florida at that time. And Zena calls me and says, I don't want to bother you. I know we're not in the best terms, but Aaron passed. I said, what? You're a fucking lie. I hung up the phone on her and I instantly went to texting him. All I could say was Aaron. Aaron. Back to back, I started hitting up his Instagram. I couldn't believe it. Look, hold on. November 5th, I'm like, Aaron, I couldn't believe it. I was literally stuck. That was at 3:59 p.m. Florida time. The last message I got from him was at 11:58 p.m. Florida time. Don't miss that flight, my brother. The next day, he's gone.
Yeah.
So you gotta understand the trauma I have to deal with, bro. Like, I had his best friend on here get on here and literally say he's watched his own friend pass away in front of him, and he got blamed for it. Things in life happen. I wasn't even in the same state, and I have to wake up in the morning to people telling me I wish it was you instead of him. I wish it was neither one of us, bro. I wish we were on tour right now in Germany. I wish my bro was alive with me so that I could be sharing some of the success, some of the laughs, some of the bad times, some of the good times. Like, that was my dog, bro. That was a real friend to me. The first person to ever not give a fuck about my flaws in my friendship world, not judge me, and already have everything, seen everything, and be like, come into my house, dude.
Yeah.
Why would I want to hurt someone that literally did everything for me? You said I started crying on live. You damn right I did. The only thing I had was back then was this fucking phone.
Yeah.
I didn't have my baby mama. She had left me. I didn't have no real friends. I was staying on a friend's couch at that time. And all I could do was just hit that live button and see if anybody cared enough about what I felt. If you know anything about trauma response, that was my trauma response. Just, where did I talk to Aaron at? Live. What did I use to communicate and feel like he was probably going to come on here? The live, bro. And then I couldn't believe that I was live, and I busted out fucking crying. I said, I don't care what y'all say. I have a right to express myself, and this is me expressing myself. I used it. My manager took my phone from me because he knew that it wouldn't be a good look in the long run. But at that time, I was going off of emotion. It was an impulsive action. You understand?
Mhm.
It was just a channel. It was my outburst. It was my public outburst, man. There was nothing wrong. I didn't speak poorly on him. I only spoke poorly on myself. I said, go ahead, make fun of me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be vulnerable right now because that's what I am, is vulnerable. So I'm gonna give you who I am. That was the first time I ever broke character. So
What
I
do you
guess because
what
I
do you mean
cried
by
out live, huh?
what do you mean by character? Like,
Like I act like such a tough guy on the internet, and I don't know. I just have this character on the internet. It's the best way to put it.
hi Cody, nice to meet you. Cody said they're a Czech fan. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Cody is a huge supporter of Aaron Carter. She used to always be on live with us all the time. She's a beautiful soul, to be honest. She's probably over there saying hi to you.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I mean, I
There's a
am.
lot more to unpack, but that's a lot of what I've had to go through.
I mean, I wish you could see like my comment section is like. I mean, I'll just read this one. Check. This is the side of you people have wanted to see, not the clout chasing stuff. I believe him. You can tell he's being genuine. Um, he was deep down inside hoping it was a nightmare. I believe him. Mellow Yellow's just a bitch.
I'm trying to go to your
Yeah, I
page.
mean, I think that like people, I think like sometimes it's perceived that like you, which I mean, I guess to a certain extent, like anybody who's on the internet, like we clout
Let's
chase
be
and
real.
stuff.
I have to say it the best way that I know how to put it. Anybody that's trying to be successful is going to be around other successful people. So if success comes in this app as a form of drama, it is more likely that you're going to find me in a drama spotlight. All right? There's other people that will be. There's just not that many people that watch. This is like a soap opera driven app, I feel like. So sometimes you might catch me in act, and I'll realize that the act isn't an act anymore, and I'll be like panic mode, which is what happened to me with the Milk House. I went to act, do my shit with the music, and I ended up going, oh shit, this is more than life. This is real. Like, I can go to jail right now because this lady took her kid and I didn't even really know. Like, that's when I literally was like, I'm out of here. And I literally came back in after the baby was gone. I said, let me reevaluate the situation because I need to learn what the hell I put myself into before I just exit chat and have to finish my job. People don't want to believe that either. That I can't be like, I fucked up, but I did. It was an accidental fuck up. I went there to do a job and it was a bad environment.
Yeah,
And by what they do and how they operate, I've already said no. That's why I didn't stay. That's why I left. I was still in LA. It's not like I ran. I was down the hill. Then when they said that they kicked me out, I came back to prove a point. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry, chat, if I disappointed y'all by going back. The man in me couldn't just take the L and walk away, and that's poor me. I should have never went back there with the Ice Spice lookalike and Juju, but I did. So if you guys want to blame me,
do you think that sometimes like you're chasing this idea of like success and fame on here that you think is like what you is like success and fame, but it's really not?
so you're more or less saying, do you think I'm seeking validation?
Well, like I just think that if this was like the check that people got on a more regular basis, that you would be
Nobody
so
would
much
care
for
about me,
like.
dude. Shelby, if people knew me, they wouldn't care about me. If people talk to me like this, they would just. The only reason I am able to be myself right now is because I have a balance. I have you to balance it out. Most people wouldn't watch me if I was this person all the time. They like the switch up. They like the messiness. They like the. I'm telling you, I've seen it, bro. I've seen it through
Yeah,
years.
no, I guess what I'm saying is that like I think that
The
this
people that love me and know me,
this world has like tricked you into thinking that that's what people want because we see people like Ashley Trevino Bree and they're getting like all these views and stuff, but the majority of the people
it
are
hasn't tricked me. It's tricked the world, so I play the game. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not
But
tricked.
you're not, and I don't mean
I
this to be
can't.
rude, but like you're not winning at the game. Like I feel like because I feel like you could be. I feel like you have talent. I feel like you have vulnerability. I feel like you have a rawness to you that is like a likability. That when you associate with people like that and you feed into that bullshit and associate with those people, that's where people are like, yeah, he's still the same.
Well, again, that's where I faltered. That's where I faltered, and I'll take blame. Is I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I stayed there. That's my fault, right? It wasn't my fault when I came in there because I didn't know no better, and nobody will. Everyone's gonna be like, "You knew." Just because all of y'all knew doesn't mean I knew. I just came off of Rolling Loud. I was doing way bigger shit than all this dumb shit. Then I find myself wrapped up in bullshit, and I stayed there. What's wrong with me? Like, that's where I start knocking myself in the head, and I'm like, why did I stay? Oh yeah, I was trying to get a fucking kick deal, and they ended up ripping it out from underneath me. Like, if that's the sincerity you want, that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
I tried to get something. I tried to give them something. I gave them something. They didn't give me what I was supposed to get. Deal over with. I walked away from it. Y'all fucked me over. Cool. It's done. Data. Jordan is the only one that kept it real with me. That's how I'm gonna keep it. Okay. Bree and I really didn't have that many conversations. I didn't have nothing but a couple live little interactions where I would just get on the camera and get publicly shamed so that she could make $1. Like that's the only time I would get on her shit. If you want me to be honest, is when they wanted to get public TTS hate. Like,
Did you think that all of it was a skit? Like what all the stuff they were doing? Or?
at first, I thought it was all a skit because they have whiteboards everywhere. They have it all
That's normal in a content house.
Huh?
That's normal in a content house. I've been to like a couple of them.
I've been to content houses, but I haven't been to content houses where they script who's going to be in a relationship with.
Oh yeah, not script, but like definitely kind of flesh ideas out to where.
Oh yeah. We've definitely been in like this is the content that we're going to push out. With these are the 3 posts that you're going to make. These like things like that. That's a general outline. But when it comes to like scripts of like what's going to happen this week and what's going to happen the next week and who's going to argue with who, that's when it's like, are y'all doing this for real? Because inside it's one job, but outside it becomes realer, right? And that's I don't want to be involved in that. That's just hard. That'll break my head trying to bring that. Like I can't. I want to talk about what has to do with me, not them, to be honest. But I'll take accountability. I shouldn't have stayed longer than I did.
Did they take people's phones?
No, not when I was there.
Okay.
Let me clarify. Not when I was there. They did not take my phone. They didn't take. They asked me for my login to my Kick, and they asked me for a OTP code and some Google verification number. I since then have hacked all my stuff back and retained all of my information.
Wait, you gave it to them?
Yes, I did it out of my own free will once they asked me. And I'll say why, Shelby. I wanted a kick deal so bad. Even me as a 37-year-old man, I fell into the trap.
That's what I'm saying though. Like
Listen to what I'm saying. I'm siding with y'all, but y'all ain't listening to what I'm saying. Even me as a 37-year-old man fell into the trap, knowing better than to do that.
I'm telling you, dude, if you could see my chat, like you just admitting this stuff like makes them like relate to you because you're being like you're saying what it is. Like instead of trying to cover it up or whatever, like make it seem like it's something it's not. You just you fucking wanted the deal. The money looked great, the deal looked great, whatever it was. That seems more genuine to them than like whatever else, whatever all that other stuff you were saying. I don't know. The chat is overwhelmingly like supportive and in your favor for this person.
I don't want to look like a lame, bro. I don't want to be online talking about, yeah, bro, I just stayed because like they promised me this. Like this is me being vulnerable right now because I guess I just don't give a fuck. But like again, it goes back to the character of Mr. Tough Guy. You can't defeat me. Like I would never. Like you get what I mean? Like I uphold that image, so like my ego won't let me break it down.
So hold on, mods. Y'all don't have to mute those 2 people. So Cynthia and Kim K's foot. So that there's 2 of y'all that say like y'all don't agree, but I'm doing like the majority of the chat. There was probably 30 comments before the 2 of you commented that all said the same thing. I understand that you have a feeling about him and you're never going to believe him and you're going to have your opinions. That's fine. I said this a while, like a couple, like when he like left to reset or whatever. Just because I think he's being a lot more genuine, that doesn't mean I necessarily believe everything he's saying. I think that when people are break the walls down and become more genuine about it, that we get a more realistic version of what happened. Um, so you just take it. You either believe it or you don't. Like I don't. He's not. I don't feel like he's trying to convince anybody right now. And I feel like that's what he was trying to do in the past. Is like he wanted that acceptance and people to like rally behind him so badly. And so he was like kind of saying, that's what I've gathered from what people have said. In this moment, I don't feel like he's telling me something. I'm not falling for anything. Me and Check aren't gonna like, run off and like get matching tattoos tomorrow. Like, if you don't, hold on. If you don't like what's happening right now, you have free will. I imagine that you guys are all adults. You can click out of this live and go to one that you like. I have an open like live to people to come in and like, yeah, and maybe he will answer those questions, Mystic. Like I think that like you guys want to like him to answer everything in like one moment, and that's just not possible. So yeah,